Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. Today we are taking a look at Olaf, mostly because I just released a best junglers video and his win rate is huge. He is huge and the LP gains you could get, will be huge as well if you play him. So what we have here is a challenger level game where he absolutely takes over. Now before we get into it, firstly, Christmas horror sweater, very nice I think, nice and festive in the league style. We have our we got the Willem too because look at it. But mostly, before you go on a rant about hey, all of these are stomps, they're not. At this point, 20 minutes into the game, the Olaf's team will be down 2,000 to 3,000 gold, despite the fact that he's going to take over. So how do you actually end up being the carry for your team? How do you become the win condition and basically drag them across the finish line, or at least abuse the enemy when they try cheese strats that can get enemy teams ahead? We have no knowledge of the enemy team's location. We've got a DC, we've got a Jin who's looking at the memes on Twitter because, apparently that isn't yet tortured enough and old. They could be invading. We don't really know anything. But if you were an astute individual, teleport Sejuani. Very exciting. Definitely looking forward to analyzing this gameplay. And no, it's not a mistake. It's not someone that plays Yi or something like that. This person literally runs a Sejuani teleport every game. It doesn't work very well. But the champion itself is solid. Works very well in Clash. Will do you good work in Flex 5v5s. The Olaf started a scanner just in case of this, because Olaf wants to go on a late 1 minute 20 or so invade. Now, when this happens in your games, you can click it. I didn't click it here because in the replay it says, time placed it. But you will see in the top left, you click it as soon as it's placed, you look, you hover, it'll show you Sejuani, or whoever used it. In this case, we know it's Sejuani because we look. So she goes down to the bottom side. Olaf wants to do his late invade. Here we go. Runs into the Silas. And solos the red buff. So now this is a nice late invade. What you achieve by doing this is force the enemy jungler to greatly consider what they want to do. And the best thing your support can do, especially in a duo clash flex environment, is just ward this, just to see when and where they invade your red. Now Olaf, of course, loves to go Gore Drinker and Sterex Gauge. The synergy with the healing and all those items and his kit, the last stand you would have seen in the rune set, really makes him difficult to kill and difficult to deal with. So here he's going for basically the red Raptors blue Grom clear, at least, in an inverse function. Normally you would go red Raptors blue Grom, that's the world strategy. It lets you flex to a gank, invade, crab, mid, and then of course if you crab here and gank mid, you get a double crab. You can always loop around for tier 1 Krugs, tier 2 Raptors, and Wolves, if you haven't taken your Wolves yet. So it creates a nice little circular motion. I talked about it in the runes video. Here you see this Sejuani going for the red. But as Olaf here, you don't want to go there without being level 3. So he gets level 3, and now actually decides to let her be. The reason for this can be twofold. Mid has prio, so if you go for this, Rise will come first. Secondly, there's a huge wave here, and your ADC, thankfully being late to the game, is still level 1. You're not trying to force a fight right now. And this is something that junglers don't do in lower elos. They go straight for these random collapses when they see them before their lanes are ready to assist. So he does Wolves first, and now says, okay, well, we saw Sejuani go down. She's going to try and dive this. This is her mistake. Her mistake is not assuming that at this point the Olaf is ready to go. And that's why Olaf's so good right now. It's 310. The dude has 19 CS because he left a baby raptor there. And he can rotate down and collapse. Excellent. And no flash. So this is why cheese strategies with no flash. Okay, well the Annie burns hers to get it. If he hits the axe, I don't think she has to flash, but a kill is a kill. This is the first play you're looking to make with Olaf. If you don't late invade with your top, you can always full clear either direction, whatever you like, and then look to make this same kind of play. Counter gank on a lane. But we want double crab, okay? We want double crab. And it is change of season at the moment, so I'm breathing a bit more than normal because the asthma is really strong, so apologies for the breaths that I take, but I'll do my best to get as many words out in as short a window as possible. Double crabbed. Now, Sejuani is TP. You stole red raptors. She did blue side into red. Dove bottom lane. Where do you think she's going next? Krugs or Gromp? Because there's tier 1 Krugs and there's a tier 2 Gromp. Now by going to tier 2 Gromp, it will set you up for tier 2 Wolves as well, right? Doof. Doof. This will maximize your experience. And also, if this is not reset, you get the tier 1 Raptors. The problem with doing the tier 1 Raptors here, first, is you're wasting time. Like, I don't understand why anyone would go like this. Because then you're either sequencing down these camps here into bottom lane, or you're sequencing up here for a top lane gank. This is a nice lane to gank. Getting Silas ahead can be really, really good. But let's see where exactly she went. You'll see. Because at this point you don't know. As Olaf, you don't know. So you need to be very decisive. What are my actions now as Olaf? Is it 2 minutes since Gromp? No. Can't sequence that. Do I want to blindly invade this with Ryze MIA who could come from mid lane and just collapse me? No. Do I want to gank top lane? Okay, we'll try gank top lane. You could also go and contest or take those Krugs. So here he goes, right? He thinks, let me investigate the Krugs to see if they're up. They are up. From our other perspective now, boom, there she is. Right there. Okay? The pathing here is a little strange. So what we do is go back in time. That's exactly what Sejuani did. I actually didn't watch the replay from her perspective at all. Straight to Raptors. Oh, hello, let me take this. I don't know why you would path this way. It's very obvious if you get cut off in a challenger jungle game and you die here and you lose crab and you see her go across, you're not getting the top crab. You have to just give up all rights to the crabs and say, next time. Because, you know, it's just not going to happen. So this for me is a little bit wasted pathing, but at the same time, your Gromp isn't going to be up. So she queues over the wall. Nice vision there to nice pathing to ignore the vision. You see the crab is taken. And you know she's got wards here. Like, this is great pathing to circumnavigate all the wards. But she could have done this directly. Now, it's nice to obviously take this and reset the camp, but it was just a waste of time. She could have done this directly and then sequenced to her blue side. So she comes out for another gank here. This should be absolutely free. Never mind. She doesn't get the assist for that, but... So when this happens in your games, remember, it happens in high elo too. But you get the flashes, so... I mean, he has Hex Flash. Not really that useful. Olaf gets to take the Krugs, which will reset the camp for Sejuani. At this point, he's leaving these purely for time. Okay, let me turn the fog of war off. There was more experience put into the Krugs here, especially the baby Krugs, but it's time, right? He could gank this. He could gank this, but at the same time, it's a Silas. What do you want to achieve? I mean, I think I'm probably looking to do something here. Unless I'm duo or pre-made and this person has said, you know, don't gank me, link me a video on YouTube and in pre, like a Darius on Twitter, don't gank me. And then you say, okay, fine, you know. You do you do you. But in low elo, with the top laner with the CC, I'm looking to gank, you know. I want to get them ahead because and it's free food for you, because you can abuse lanes in low elo. You don't need to play as much of a map control a game as you do in high elo. Tier 2 Gromp, Tier 2 Wolves. Mega Raptors. Fight on the mid lane. So at this point he was going to probably fully sequence and reset. Here you've got the roams by the Alistar and the Annie. And again, leave your camps, rotate to the fight. Alright, Strumpus obviously is an excellent mid laner. Oh, yes. Yeah, he's mid. I was confused because the Silas is mid on the scoreboard. I should swap it, right? There you go. Down goes Annie. Now you get to hold the wave. But Sejuani's just going to repeat gank. I mean, the way she's playing the game is not conducive to solo carrying. I mean, you're not going to get fed enough to carry the game, you're really looking to support lanes, it's just a very inefficient playstyle in this current meta. I mean, I've played a lot of Sejuani this preseason as well. I don't feel... One, don't take TP, please. This is a level 1 Krog camp, so this is nice. Wait, was that level 1? Yeah, it was, right? Yet no one had taken it yet. Just the baby. She was just beginning the baby, so this is level 1, right? Yeah, okay. Thought I was going crazy for a second. Then the Olaf gets to hold the mid lane and reset. Right. Excellent, excellent early game. Let's go. We've got our Iron Whiplash. Is that Iron Spike Whip? And a Kindle Gem. So we're ready to go. There's deep vision. You should see this. Good. Looking at the map. You're watching bottom lane. Again, spam ganking Sejuani. Kills the Jhin. But because you're Olaf and because you're very fed, you can afford to fight this. Watch the mid lane prior, though. Be respectful. But, of course, as soon as you walk into the board here, this is silly. Because you saw the Olaf come through this ward in this direction. You know there's a crab that's going to draw his focus. Because junglers, when there's a crab... Mid laners, when there's a crab, we want it, okay? We're gonna look for every possible inch of map prior to get it. Alistar's already moved his way up. Ryze checks the bush to clear this ward, forgetting that Olaf's in the area, and he says, hello, I ult you without a stun. Then hits a stun anyway. Axe hits, bear hits, and boom. Nice, okay? Good. You lose a crab, but you get a kill. We'll take that trade. Every single time. Well, not every time. Depends. You need to back out here. You know they're most likely rotating up. I'm trying to push the wave as much as possible. Tibbers kind of holds them off a little bit. How kind. Thank you. And remember with Olaf, it's about hitting and chaining your axes. Look at this. You see the axe slows? And now you just ult. I mean, you just activate your whip, your Iron Spike whip. You ult. All CC doesn't mean anything to you. It's so easy. Just hit your axes. Easy to play, easy to snowball. Now, from here, we want to make sure we're getting our buffs and sequencing well. So we take the Raptor camp, we take the red camp, we see Sejuani again going bottom lane. Spam ganking doesn't work when the laners are smart. Spam ganking doesn't work when the enemy jungler is taking things away from you and just really turbo scaling yourself. See, now here the Sejuani is most likely in the area. So we're going to scan up, know that she's most likely going for the blue side, okay? You know Sejuani's most likely up here since the gank. So what can you do? We could invade, yeah? But you know the mid lane is here. If you look at resources, you know the misfortune from the minimap F keys that you're pressing. I hope you know she's not going to actually be able to stick around. But mid lane is there. It's Ryze with an ultimate. Risky. So what we can do is we have enough prio in the in the bottom lane to pull out this dragon. Now you can see here, they won't see anything until you walk in this little vision gap. You wait as long as possible, and you only see it when he shows here, or if you're looking at the dragon. But now Misfortune's in base. It's an Olaf who's pretty fed, because he's been infusing himself with as much experience as possible. You've got the Ornn going topside against the Silas. Boom, okay. He misses. He gets the kill, but he should have saved the Q. But, you know, well played. And a free dragon. Very nicely done. No mana, we want to go topside. The next objective is Herald. This is where things get a little interesting, okay? The Sejuani, I'm not actually tracking the TP, but it makes things a little weird, to be honest with you. I kind of struggle. It's hard to track when, you know, so the Sejuani should go top, does go top, and then TP's bottom lane for a play. It's just strange. I don't see any use of it whatsoever. Okay, so I wanted to re-explain what I was saying because it became a bit ridiculous. So the Ornn is pushing after the kill. He wants plates. Okay, he wants to get as much of the wave as possible. If you're timing the Silas, you want to get up before the Silas shows up, which he would have, 100%, okay? Because we can see where the Silas is. No TP, no way he gets there. The problem is, of course, mid lane can roam from here. And as Olaf, you might want to consider shadowing the Ornn if he overstays for the enemy jungler as well as the Silas. But this is a good run by the mid laner. The Ornn should probably back out, and the Annie should ping a lot more, okay? Here, there's no pings. It's 941. He's disappeared from lane. I'll be spam pinging to be very careful. The Ornn should see it as well, but he doesn't. Ryze then decides to TP top. Olaf is going to rotate to this, alright? But the Ornn's dead. There's nothing you can do about it. And Annie's gonna immediately react. You see this? Annie isn't worried about just shoving mid and relaxing. Annie says, I will rotate. Olaf says, okay, I will do blue. Okay? And then I will rotate with you. Ult up, hits the axe, dead, hits another axe. Okay, I went too quickly there. It's the power of the axe, my friends. Really, the Viking life. Hit it to get the slow. Now you know you're gonna get CC'd. So simply ult, hit the other axe onto the Silas if you can to slow. Stunned by the Annie and GG. I mean, the Silas got stunned before he could press R. He's dead. And now basically you can go down to the crab. Now you see here, look at this. Look at this. While that's going on, Sejuani's level 6, you're level 8, 44 CS to 83. I hate this playstyle from the Sejuani. It's not a spam gank meta. You get your bot lane ahead, but the enemy jungler is going to take over the game. Point of the video. Why no red buff? What? All of this is up then. So what you're saying is that Olaf here in most of your games is right. Let her have that. I'm going to take this. Okay. Ornn is going to move directly bottom lane, alright, to help out. While you secure the objective. The Annie will go back to mid lane, no TP, of course, has to run. So you could hold this wave, but you don't have ult against the Rise, so that's a little difficult. So we just let the wave crash. Now the recognition here, this is where things get a bit waffly from the Olaf in the next 2-3 minutes. This is where most of you struggle to really take over a game, because what do we do now? Do I go mid and try and herald this to get plates? Maybe we can really finish it off. Rise is most likely going to come on down here. We can actually have a look. We don't know this from the red team's perspective, but he could actually try and make a fight here. But they're all low, out of mana, low on resources. Maybe as the red team, you don't want to take that fight. Okay? You see them going back as Olaf walks into the mid lane. Okay? So you know Rise is here. You see the pings are coming through. Bottom lane is backing off. I don't see the purpose of being here right now. You've got Raptors and Krugs up, and the Crab, okay? Which is Sejuani's most likely on. Your bottom lane is dealing with a wave, level 5 Alistar, and Annie isn't even here. So yes, we can destroy the Sejuani ourselves. But I really would have preferred a play that would steal the red. You know, this is warded as well, that we walked over, that we got to touch on. When you finish with the Herald here, check the bush. I mean, why walk by this bush? Always walk through it. Always. Always. Because this is just warded. Most of the time. Like, I really would try and just take the red too. And then you could always look to make a play here while on his bottom lane, but that's a bit more selfish, huh? Take the red, take the Krugs, kill the Silas, use the Herald. You're kind of screwing the Ornn, but it's a tank, so he's always going to be useful. You're really infusing yourself. If you're in you're trying to climb to diamond and through diamond, taking it into your own hands is okay in this situation, I feel. But the waffling here from mid lane, I don't like. Because instead of taking everything and just killing the Silas, we're taking our Raptors. All while their whole team is looking to reset or resetting, and Sejuani's touching the crab. So it's a missed opportunity, I feel, to really, you know, to turn it up. Like, you know she probably did this. So now basically he's reversing field, saying, okay, if she did crab, gonna go into a jungle. He gets the vision from the axe, but now the problem is, why do you back out of this? Because the bottom lane reset is joining, he's here, she's going top, and he's in base. So, missed opportunity, and again, unavailable opportunity now. You can't do this. But you can kill anyone you want. Like, Annie's gone top lane again, right? So this is what I was saying the jungler could have done. And then you could very easily herald or just rotate mid and kill them again and have the same impact. But he's holding mid lane, so this is good. If your mid lane roams, hold it, push it back a bit, create yourself some opportunities. You saw Sejuani go down here, so we know she's in the area, right? This for me is wasted time. Like, what are we doing? What are we, this is Challenger, what are we trying to accomplish? I don't know what to say, I'm just repeating it because I'm confused. There's not even checking for the red buff. We're not even checking for the red. The fact that it was not taken was missed completely. You're literally just waiting for the Annie. But it's just dead, it's dead time. It's so much dead time for me. And we know where this Sejuani is, right? She's definitely right here. There she goes, bottom lane dive. I mean, she didn't even have to do anything, but she was there. It's horrific pathing by the Sejuani. Has she even used TP? I don't even know. I'm trying to look at it as much as I can, it's just random. Stun, axe, ult, he flashes over the wall, that's a good burn. Sejuani has no flash, but has the Q. Actually, let's check something. Okay, still W, yeah, good. I mean, you must W max into Q, but until you start putting points in that Q, it's a high cooldown for your only mobility. So we had multiple opportunities to make plays, and all we did was get Raptors and Krugs. You can see why that's a little vexing for someone who loves map control. You know, I just love out macroing and map controlling everyone, but you're so far ahead it doesn't really matter. Alistar's roamed here, that's nice. And good night Rise, no flash. There you go, pays off. Burn the TP from the Silas as well. We get as many plates as we can do, considering at 14 they're expiring. We run into the enemy bottom lane. We flash, go on their Misfortune, just take her out of the game. Good, that's the damage threat, the most fed member. We kite down to avoid all of this. Okay, he's gonna get stunned, we're waiting. We hit the axe, we see the TP in from the Ornn. If he has ult, which he should do shortly, we can actually end up using it, but it seems like at this point the ult was just a disengage. That's fine. It should give you dragon. Let me look at this again. In retrospect, once you've disengaged here, the Misfortune is still dead. The Rise is still dead. He burned TP, I believe. But the replay glitch happens. So you could immediately start it, right? Like, actually start to burn it. Kite it out of the pit so you don't get trapped. But I guess they're afraid for the Rise ult. I mean, you're only 3, so... The most important thing here is to try and either do it, and then disengage if you have to. Which, in this case, you do. Yeah, see, now you have to leave. Okay. So, the red team did a good job. I'll give them credit. They did a good job of forcing them to basically not be able to do the dragon. You can heal up now. The main thing is you didn't die. Main thing is you didn't die. But I still don't like this TP is fine for the disengage, but like you know, messy play all around, messy play. I don't think we should be in that situation at all. I believe that better jungling here and better jungling in this, you know, that 11 to 13 minute phase really would give the Olaf a lot of power. You would have been better set up to do the dragon without any of those issues. I don't like those 50-50 dragons where you kind of like, do we do it? They're rotating. Right. Top lane, Alistar's resetting. Jhin is moving up to the mid lane. There's a huge collapse from the whole team because they went back on a ward instead of walking back to a safe place. Lazy backs, please don't do it. Ryze is collapsing on the top side. However, you are level 11. We need our ultimate to fight, so we can bide our time. We'll do the blue buff. Ornn is dead. Long live Ornn. We take the crab. We want to kite it away. And now you rotate. Now you collapse. You've got the Annie with you. You've got your laner with you. They are not going to be able to stop you. I'm sorry, Leona. Did you try and stun me? R. Ryze, I'm sorry. Did you try and stun me? R. Hit your axes. Activate your W. Hit your E. Hit your axes. Boom. You guys get it, right? Hit your axes. I mean, that's tough in the fog of war, but did you see how easy it is to get yourself fed? And even then, the Olaf missed 1 or 2 things that could have given him even a bigger lead in Challenger, Grandmaster Challenger. So, well done. 16 to 17 minutes, but the gold lead is almost even. Ryze, Sejuani. Look at this, though. Don't do this. This is a pro play thing, right? In solo queue, just go Cinderhawk. Sunfire. Misfortune ults the wave. Great, super engaging. The giant beetle is up, though. Void Beetle. I would look for Void Beetle here. Or not. Raptors it is. I mean, our ult is up again. I'm looking for Void Beetle. She has no ult now. I mean, why are we all down here? The objective is topside. Posturing again. He's posturing so much I can't even click. Like, we could be on this right now, forcing, if you want to force a fight, which you kind of do because you just win every single one. And with Misfortune having no ultimate, we could be doing it over an objective. She has flash heal, though. Oh! Did you see the axe? Did you guys see the axe? He knows she has flash. Watch this. He knows she has flash, right? So he throws the axe where she's gonna flash. Very nice Olaf mechanics here. Watch this. Okay? He knows that she's gonna flash as soon as he throws the axe. He uses the chilling smite to slow her down to make the axe hit more accurate, you know, more chance of landing. But he knows she has flash. So he throws it right where she's gonna flash. Very nicely done. Leona ults come through here. He just ults, picks up the axe, hits his E, he's got his W active, and boom, she should die. Absolutely beautiful. Iron Spike Whip active comes through again. Just tank the tower shots, no problem whatsoever. Steric's Gauge gets engaged because those are our 2 item spikes for success. And now we can Giant Beetle. Right? Giant Beetle. There we go. Oh no, Rise is here. Run away, Rise. We created prior from the fight. In Korea, usually you'd see them do the beetle, and then they try and fight, and then they all just disengage, win the fight, do the crab, do the void beetle, and then they push. I can never say Rift Herald, so I just call it void beetle, because I keep saying crab accident, so I'm trying to adjust the species. It's either the giant scuttle or the void beetle. It makes for easier calls. Sejuani top side, but we got a lot of gold, and we want to set up for the second dragon, so we reset. We got another Kindle Gem plus some AD. Caulfield's Warhammer. I always want to call it Brutalizer. I always want to call it Brutalizer. Any Brutalizers in chat? Any Season 3 Black Cleaver stackers? Any APE abusers? I'm sure there's some of you. Crab for Prio. Everything up. Guys, do you want to fight for the dragon? See, now this is better. This is a better setup for the dragon. If they fight, they lose. And this is the point of Olaf. This is the point of taking over. The point of farming so relentlessly and in flow, and then rotating to these fights without, you know, sort of prioritizing ganking, more prioritizing jungle flow, it gets you so fed. And a fed Olaf, at this point, this is your power spike, right? Look at the gold lead. Red team is ahead, as I told you. The Herald, the fact that you got 2 Heralds, now allows you to make a mega push mid lane with it. You know, this is like the SKT World Season 3 push, you know, like you're absolutely primed with everyone mid lane. Are they trying to make a Baron play? And the Silas is... Wait, when? That's a very unassuming 651. I honestly thought the Silas was... It feels like the Silas wasn't doing anything. But then you realize the Ornn is 2-4-1. And that's my point, right? The Ornn TP'd one time and died a few other times, but you don't notice. Because he's a tank and he's going to be useful. He's going to give us all the items. See, now we can actually trap you. See this? You got a nice little bit of dark vision. And so they're doing the same thing. We've got double-sided vision games going on here. But you don't win the fight. What you're trying to do is Olaf here is just kill the Misfortune. So Sejuani ults to try get the Annie, but Smithies it. This is on NA, so that's appropriate. The Silas rotates down here into the Olaf. The Annie hits the reverse stun onto them, and this is beautifully lined up. Ornn is split pushing, right? And their whole red team is here. Jhin now has complete separation from the team fight to ult. And that's the thing you're looking for as an ADC, as a support, as an Olaf. Give your ADC time and space to do what they need to do damage. The axe hits and just absolutely kills the Misfortune. Olaf presses R, drives down, and you know, great champion. Great champion, guys. This is my pick for the patch. If I make a pick for the patch, this is it. This is it, because with Last Stand, Approach Velocity, Conqueror, Gore Drinker, Steric's Gauge, it's so difficult to die. 12-0-3, you get two towers from that, right? You kill their whole team. The Sejuani TP Ignite, don't do it, it's really bad. Spam ganking as a jungler without any farming consideration, it's really bad. And now you're not in a position to do anything. Now you could do this, but that's why. It's a teleport for the Baron play. Why? I mean... Yeah, I mean, are they on it? Are they trapping? I don't think I face-checked the bush, though. I mean, as you can see... Things are not going to end well for Rise. The axe does so much damage at this point. 419. And that's it. You know, objective focus, experience sequencing, rotating to fights and punishing the spam ganker. Even if your bottom lane has a really bad game, because they get a lot of jungle attention, as long as you make sure mid is fine and top is net neutral, and you have total map prior and a huge lead on a snowballing mid-game spiking jungler, you can take over. I mean, look at this. Axe hits, full tank goes in, hit the... Did he even hit that second axe? Maybe not. So you don't... He doesn't pick it up because there's no point. Like, a lot of Olafs here will actually try and focus their axe way too much. You don't need to at this point because the cooldown is pretty low. And you can just kill them with W and E, you know, and auto attacks. So... Don't over chase your axe, but do try and hit it and pick him up for the reset. Like, they're basically making the call here macro-wise. You've got Ornn fighting Sylas. Top lane, who knows what those guys are thinking. You don't have a wave to get the inhibitor, but you have an Olaf and an Alistar. Solo queue, baby. Solo queue. Everyone on a different page. If you don't have a wave and the jungler is dead, at this point, just go do the Baron. You don't have TB from Ornn, but he rotated up himself, so. Ornn is rotated up. They should already be on the Baron, okay? Sejuani doesn't have TP, she's not even up. You might be only down 3,000 gold with a Rise, Sylas, Misfortune, Leona. But there's no ways you can contest this. And if you all die with the Baron up, I mean... I don't know what exactly you can do to win the game. Because the Sylas took the Ornn. Alistar just zones. Ornn actually uses his ult here, misses everything. Then E's nothing. Good, he's not in the new, he's not in the new skin, so... Maybe he doesn't main Ornn. But it happens to the best of us. But I mean, how can you stop the Olaf? Watch this. Nice ult by the Misfortune. Doesn't really do anything. This is it, you know? You can't steal the oh, there you go, Ornn. Double axe proc. The Locket of Iron Solari doesn't save anyone. You just cannot stop a jungler that's this fed, with Baron, with multiple triple kills, who's 17-0-4. Now that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I like the idea of trying to contest the Baron. I don't like the idea of chasing down and fighting afterwards, because at the very least, you're not going to get the Baron. So the best that you can possibly do probably is try and shove this to get a tower, take these camps, put wards down, and try and set up a pick maybe for the dragon, but you're not winning a dragon fight, and a Baron fight, and you're not getting the Baron. So I feel like you should basically say, let's give this play, and then let's look to shove this, cut this off with wards. You at least would 100% get this tower with your team. You can sequence down to secure and control this whole area, division, total map control. Push this wave very quickly if someone doesn't need to go back to base. And now you can maybe trap and try a synergistic team fight as a team. Even though they have Baron, it's your best bet in this situation. Trying to 50-50 this and over chasing here to die to the Ornn E while Olaf is here, it's just Pepe squash. I mean, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. So, there you have it. Hopefully it makes a lot of sense. They should get a free... Now you give them a free third Drake. You know, you don't get the Baron, and you don't get the Dragon, and you don't have any position to defend. So, at some point you have to decide to trade objectives because you scale, you know? But, as you can see, the Jhin slows from the ult into the axis from the Olaf is so horrible. I feel really bad for the Misfortune here. Another triple kill. 20-0-5. Any good roams, but mid lane tried, you know, just the jungle difference this game was absolutely huge. Bottom lane did get a lot of assistance, but you have to assess the team comps and the win cons there if you're the Sejuani. It ain't the way. Anyway, Olaf is very strong. Play it if you want to win. Lots of LP. Pick of the patch. Gore Drinker, Sterex, Black Cleaver, Spirit Visage for even more healing. And Hope you enjoy these gameplay breakdowns. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Head to the main channel for the gameplay of how to play the season the best way that sort of encapsulates this Olaf's playstyle, as well as the best junglers that was just put up. And enjoy your weekends. See you in the next one.